All right, Kuro from V Shoujo. Let's see. Oh, wait. I see the GIF. Could he be cooking? What we are going to be doing today is I am going to be going through some of your hottest takes. So about 2 days ago, I put out a tweet calling out for some of your hottest takes. I said, I'm looking for your hottest anime takes, but don't give a simple, this show is mid. I want to know why. Sometimes when I hear hot takes, it's just X show is mid, or I think X show is overrated. And that doesn't really get much discussion about, so I wanted to know not just your hot takes, but some reasoning behind it. Some people understood the assignment, and some people really didn't. So at the time of this stream, it currently has 4.8 million views with 8.3k replies. So I think this would be funner if we have a rating system. So we're going to rate every hot take we go through with a 5-point rating system. Is the take cold? Is the take something that is not a hot take at all? Is it something that pretty much everyone is going to agree on? Is it sizzling? You know, it's not the hottest take in the world, but maybe they kind of got a point there. Is it a legit hot take? And by hot take, I mean, is it something that is a little too hot for most people to agree on, but maybe some people can agree on it? Or the last place, is it just a fucking nuclear take? This fucking dish is overcooked. It is burnt. No one is going to want to eat this dish. You have gone nuclear with this take.
Can we talk about something quickly?
Honey, is everything okay?
Have you been fighting with Joey or something lately? Because he's been nonstop messaging me saying, hey, is this your man? He's gonna knock you out or something, knock out your team. I don't really know. I don't get what he's talking about.
Oh, nah, don't worry about that. He's the one that's going down.
What?
Yeah, so you know AFK Arena just launched a new server, right? It's called AFK Arena Companions, and it's focused on co-op gameplay. You can share your hero pools with other players without level restrictions, team up with your friends to build up lineups and progress together, or even boost each other if someone's a much higher level.
Okay, but what's this got to do with you beefing with Joey? I mean, surely if it's co-op, you're working together, right?
Actually, we're going to be making a competition, so I'm going to be inviting my fans and the AFK Arena community to join my faction, and he's going to be doing the same, and we're going to be competing against each other.
Okay, I don't really see why he needed to message me, but okay. When are you doing this?
Well, it's actually going to be this Sunday, December 8th, over on my Twitch, and I'm going to be giving away a bunch of free stuff, including a PS5, a Nintendo Switch, and loads more. And just for joining AFK Arena Companions, people can get 10 free summons a day during the first month, plus a free summon chance every day for a rare hero by just completing your dailies.
Okay, well, good luck, I guess. That's all I wanted to ask.
It's alright, honey. I don't need luck, because Joey's going down. Alright. Anyway, sorry about that, chat. Where were we? Let's just start with Lud's one. So I saw quite a few other content creators actually replied to mine. Rewatching OG Naruto is almost fucking unbearable with how outdated it looks and how slow it is paced. How are we feeling about this one? I am going to say this is sizzling. It's not the hottest take in the world, but he does have a point that I do agree to, but he has some points that I don't agree with as well. The point I don't agree with is that it's fucking unbearable, because I think that OG Naruto still is fantastic. And the big difference between OG Naruto and, let's say he said One Piece, because if he said One Piece, I would actually say I low-key agree, and he's actually cooking. But the big difference between OG Naruto and One Piece is how they handle filler. And the great thing about OG Naruto is that you can just skip the filler episodes. You can just skip it and go straight back to the canon episodes. All right, no one's telling you that you have to watch 100% OG Naruto. You can just skip the filler. But with One Piece, it's so much harder to skip the filler because it is baked into the episodes. How outdated it looks. When Naruto goes hard, it still goes hard. There is nothing dated about Rock Lee versus Gaara, Sasuke versus Orochimaru, Naruto versus Sasuke. Some other fights? All right, maybe a little bit. But I don't think this is an OG Naruto problem. I think this is a Studio Pierrot problem, because I can replace Naruto with so many ones of their adaptation, okay? Because the most recent example I can think of, and I say this as a fan of this title, Black Clover. Black Clover was also done by Studio Pierrot. The reason I became a manga reader was because, similarly with Naruto, you all have these fucking 10 out of 10 episodes, these 9, 10 out of 10 episodes with amazing fucking animation. It's like the studio poured all their time and energy into like 1 or 2 fights every 20 to 25 episodes. And then the rest of those 20 episodes are just like the basic bare bones 6 out of 10 animation. It's not the worst animation in the world. It's just like passable animation. I think that was just the trade-off that you had with long-running weekly series. I would say there are parts of this I agree with. The big part I disagree with is that it's unfucking bearable. I think Naruto, OG Naruto, is still worth rewatching. Just skip through the filler and you can get there. But also, you can just read the manga as well, which if you want a more perfectly paced story. So Lud was sizzling with that one. Damn, how long was I talking for that? That was one take. Oh my god, this is gonna be, oh my god, this is gonna be a long stream. I need to stop yapping. Giri, ReZero is mid, and Isekais are overdone. Ah, come on, man, come on, Giri. This isn't a reasoning, Giri, but I'ma single you out. Giri, you think this is a hot take, Giri? You both gave me a take that was hot and also the coldest fucking take of all time. Isekais are overdone, bro. Heard it before. Even Isekai fans know that Isekais are overdone, okay? We know. We just don't care. This dish is raw, Giri. It's raw. Oh, oopsie, didn't read. Oh, wait. Amelia needs a backbone and make up her damn mind or get the fuck out and let Subaru be happy with Rem. No! No, Giri's a Rem stan. Oh, Giri. Oh, my God. It gets worse. Amelia needs to grow a backbone and make up her damn mind. Bro, that was like all of season 2. That was all the development she got in season 2. Season 2 is what cemented Amelia as best girl. At least I hope you are referring to Amelia, since I hope it's not Amelia Watson we're talking about. All right, Giri, thank you very much for your contribution. We needed a cold take. All right, Kuro from V Shoujo. Let's see. Oh, wait. I see the gif. Could he be cooking? Keijo is legitimately entertaining action anime. People think it's just Guna bait, but they don't understand. Each girl has different assets that must be utilized to the best of their ability. Big boobs doesn't equal big power. It's how you use it. They are equivalent to JoJo stans. People say Singer's a good movie because the gorilla guy's dad watches his son go to prison and goes, "That's my son," and becomes proud of him, are stupid. This anime literally did this first and better. The scene where her disapproving dad watches his daughter give herself the ultimate wedgie to surpass light speed movement against her opponent by having less air resistance in her body and swimsuits by doing so, and then having her dad finally be proud of his daughter for that is cinema, bro. Wait, can this boy cook? All right, I'm gonna say he's cooking. I would say that Keijo is a legitimately entertaining action. I wouldn't call it an action anime. This is sports anime to the T. This is not only sports anime. It does what some of the best sports anime do. It exaggerates things, and then Keijo goes, okay, most sports anime is going to exaggerate things to, let's say, a level 9 or level 10. Keijo goes, we know no one is going to take this seriously. This is an anime about sumo wrestling gals with using their boobs and ass on water wearing swimsuits. We know no one is going to take this seriously. Let's take this to level 11. Let's take this to level 12. It's one of those shows where you just want to turn your brain off and just watch stupid ass shit. And then you have stupid pals like the ass of Babylon. It's something that knows, it's a show that knows exactly what it is and doesn't care to try to garner an audience outside of it. Is it Guna bait? Yeah, but it's good Guna bait, all right? Kuro is absolutely cooking with that take. Rubber Ross has said, Darling the Franxx felt like it had so much potential for world building, but instead primarily focuses on insufferable fan service. Then in the last few episodes, realized it hadn't explained anything. Then bam, aliens, it was very bad. Which is insane because I love Gurren Lagann, which is basically the same thing, but way more fun. Ooh, okay, well, Trigger be doing Trigger things. Ross, I think this is a pretty cold take for anyone who has watched Darling in the Franxx. My viewing experience with Darling in the Franxx was I did not actually care about the fan service. I'd be interested to hear what you think about something like Kill la Kill, because I think unlike a lot of other anime, I'm gonna be that guy, aren't I? It's not just fan service. Guys, I swear to God, at the very least, boys, the fan service in Darling in the Franxx, wait, was it a metaphor, guys? Was it just a metaphor this entire time? Fan service in Darling in the Franxx, I'd say very reminiscent to what Kill la Kill did with its fan service. And I don't think it was purely fan service for fan service sake, but it definitely was fan service, if you know what I'm saying. But it wasn't purely just an ecchi show. I don't think it really took away from the world building. I think the world building had a lot of potential in it. If anything took away from the potential of Darling in the Franxx, it was, yes, the final few episodes. Watching Darling in the Franxx, I was invested in the story. I was invested in the character dramas and the character growth and everything. And then Aliens happened. And that was when my investment just went blah. That was when my entertainment of Darling in the Franxx changed from me being invested in these world and characters to me being invested in just how fucking stupid can this get and how crazy the fan reactions are going to be. I think Gurren Lagann is slightly different in terms of execution when it comes to Darling in the Franxx, because Gurren Lagann was just pure hype from beginning to end. It was just pure ridiculousness from beginning to end, and almost aliens and space kind of made sense for Gurren Lagann because it was already going in, I felt like it was already going in that direction anyway, whereas with Darling in the Franxx, it just felt like it came out of nowhere. But anyone who watched Darling in the Franxx would pretty much agree with this take, so I'm gonna say this is a pretty cold take, Ross, but thank you very much for your submission. Ooh. Savi has said, your name is actually insanely overrated and not only shows how bad writing with unexplained plot holes can be excused for having pretty cloud animation, but also, in my opinion, ruined Radwimp's unique music style by turning them into a commercial pop band, which they weren't before. Wow, you sent this take to the wrong person, Savvy, because I am the biggest Your Name fan. As you know, I made a video called, I think it's called The Perfect Anime or something, and it was like, Your Name was what got me thinking about that. I fucking love Your Name. Joey's secret alt account. Your Name is actually insanely overrated. So I think this comes from back in the day. I think Your Name was like the #1 rated anime on my anime list. And now there are a lot of Your Name haters because of the critical acclaim that Your Name got. Is it the perfect movie? No, I don't think that it is the perfect movie, but it is one of my favorite anime movies of all time. There are two reasons for this, basically. Number one, unlike something like A Silent Voice, which is obviously another movie that Your Name gets compared to a lot. I've said this before, I think Your Name is such a fantastic cinematic experience. A Silent Voice has such a beautiful, grounded story, but Your Name, going to see Your Name in cinemas is just such a beautiful experience, and I think you lose some of that experience watching it on Blu-ray, on streaming, because that final scene, I think it's just that final scene where the comet hits and the Radwimp moment happens, it just like so many things were happening. I remember crying in that scene, not because I was sad, but just because I was just overwhelmed with emotions and beauty. That was the absolute cinema scene for me. But I remember watching Your Name for the first time, and I didn't really know what I was going to get from this movie. I watched the trailer and I was like, oh, this is going to be maybe a fun Freaky Friday kind of thing. Maybe there's going to be some romance in there. And then you watch the movie and then it plays out one way. And then the movie hits the halfway point and you're like, and I was like, holy shit, wait, I don't know where the story is going anymore. I don't know what's going to be happening. And from that on, I was just fucking hooked. I miss that feeling so much. And I think Your Name is something that does that perfect. Like I said, going back to A Silent Voice, I knew what kind of experience I was going to get with A Silent Voice. It's a story about a guy who bullied a girl and he finds he eventually has regret over that, and he learns how to be a better person that has come from that. Great movie. I fucking cried. What I just described is one of the big reasons why I fucking loved Your Name the first time I'm watching it, because that's why I think it's just such a magical cinema experience, for giving me that experience and just making it so that I was just watching fucking cinema unravel in front of me. Are there plot holes in there? Maybe. Are the characters the deepest in Your Name? No, they're not. But I think the characters are deep enough for what the story tried to achieve. So I think this is a hot take, because I fucking love Your Name. Who wants to go next? Mid-anime is fine. Even though these days people use mid as an insult, not everything has to be a 10 out of 10 masterpiece with epic animation to be enjoyable. And I need snob anime fans to stop watching anime based only on Mao rankings. Please and thank you. Dr. Nova. I would say that this isn't exactly a cold take. I would say this is a sizzling take. I think that mid-anime obviously is fine. I think the biggest thing, right? More people should be fine with watching anime based on their own tastes, as opposed to just trying to keep up with anime that everyone is talking about. I would say that now that I've watched enough shows, I know from a critical standpoint are better written, have better characters, but everyone has different tastes. Everyone has different wants in their entertainment. And sometimes you want something that maybe is a 6 or 7 out of 10, that is something that is more pertaining to your taste than something that is more universally agreed, that is a 9, that is an 8 or 9 out of 10. Here's my hot take, and this is a complete hot take that I don't even think is correct. This is just my personal opinion. I think Kaguya-dan is an amazing romance with great characters, great drama, great writing, and I personally find more entertainment reading stuff like Domestic Girlfriend and Rent a Girlfriend. And I think more people need to be okay with that kind of mentality. So I will say that this is a sizzling take. Let's see what else we got. Some of these are cold ass takes, I'm not gonna lie. This is an interesting one. The NCS Smashter said, modern battle shonen could use way more filler / downtime for characters to just talk, to flesh out their dynamics / relationships. Fights are great, but hard focusing on fight / hype moments make them way less impactful. This is something I feel My Hero Academia excels at compared to Demon Slayer or JJK. We cooking. You know what? If you combined the downtime and character writing of My Hero Academia with the fight choreography and pure hype of Jujutsu Kaisen, you would have the greatest fucking modern anime ever made. My favorite part of My Hero Academia is the character writing. I would say that it excels at it a little too fucking hard, because the character writing takes away from the fight sometimes, because we have to focus so much time on the character writing that sometimes we take things away from the fight when you have a fucking flashback or character monologue going back to what these characters are dealing with. On the flip side of things, with Jujutsu Kaisen, specifically with Season 2, and I've said this before, I think the Shibuya arc came 1 season too early. I think it needed 1 more season at least to let me hang out with these characters more, to make some of these shocking moments in the Shibuya arc hit way more than they did. And it would have been fine if we had time to breathe prior to the Shibuya arc. And I feel like if it just had a little more downtime to get to know some of these characters, to hang out with these characters, not in the context of a fight or a death battle, it would have hit way harder. I think filler is the wrong word to use, because in my opinion, downtime isn't filler. Downtime is just quieter time. Downtime is not action. And sometimes you need that quieter time. Thank you very much for cooking. Oh, someone knows who they're submitting their hot takes towards. Slice of Anime says, Rent a Girlfriend is peak fiction. Not only does it have a great cast, but by dragging out the story, we get small character building moments that other romance series never cover. Also, NTR Pog. Bait used to be believable. But I want to agree with this take jokes so much. I'm going to surgically remove some of this. Let's take out this line. Nah, that's the best part, bro. What is this chat right now? Rent-A-Girlfriend has a fucking fantastic cast because I think they do such an amazing job at making you hate every single character. Even if you think you have a character that you like, they do something and they make you start to hate them. And we talk about deep characters. This is a deep hate. These aren't one-dimensional characters. This is a multi-dimensional hatred you have towards some of these characters, man. Not only does it great, but by dragging out the story, we get small character building romances that other romance series never cover. I think the anger towards Rent-A-Girlfriend is I can genuinely see, no meme, actual serious Garnt cooking right now. And you can tell me if I'm overcooking. Rent-A-Girlfriend has potential. I think the reason that Rent-A-Girlfriend gets so much anger and hatred is just because it was moving in a direction where you thought that you saw some positive development, especially with the characters. You thought that we were progressing in a positive direction. And then it felt like all of the characters just went down like that. The real question is the payoff going to be worth it? Because right now, I have a series that I love that does something reminiscent of Rent-A-Girlfriend. It's gonna be a wild card. It is a series called Mushoku Tensei. You have a character who is a piece of shit at the start, and then he makes some positive development, then he does something shit again, but then he makes a little bit more positive developments, and you can see, and the thing I respect is that it shows you development in a character isn't always positive. And I am hoping, because I'm here for the long game, that eventually he becomes, over time, a better and better person that learns from his mistakes. The big difference I see with Rent-A-Girlfriend is that you have that positive development with Kazuya, and then from what I've read, he just goes back to being fucking rotten. You can't just keep going into like the negative development and just keep having him be a piece of shit without any redeeming qualities. That is when people start to check out. This is almost a take that I can agree with because the story is long, and I would think that if it wasn't dragging out for the sake of just dragging out the story, but if it was a long story to see that long character development, to see that more realistic character development of someone who is a really unlikable person, you know, like that Kazuya is, and the whole concept of Rent-A-Girlfriend to convince me that Kazuya at the end of the story gets a girl and gets the girl to fall in love with him. There is a lot of development that needs to happen from point A to B. Rent-A-Girlfriend had the potential, and right now it is just not executing it. And it has become a meme because of that. Let's expand on some takes we've had before. My Hero Academia is a great show and people shit on it because it's cool to hate on My Hero Academia these days, and it's cringe as fuck fandom. The show itself uses simple battle shonen tropes but masters all of them perfectly. It has some of the most hype and emotional moments ever. Chat, what do we think about this? I am going to say that this is sizzling. Do I think that My Hero Academia is overhated nowadays? I do. I've realized that I have also shit on My Hero Academia before, but I don't do it. I think a lot of people don't do it because it's cool. A lot of people shit on it because they had an investment in the show. As an emotional reaction, the disappointment is stronger because there was a time when they were really invested in it and they probably watched it for a little bit longer than they would have watched other shows because they hoped that it would hit those same peaks, but then they never ended up loving it as much as they did before. And that was my experience, where I am still up to date with My Hero Academia. Every time I talk about My Hero Academia, I always seem to complain about it more than I praise it. And it comes from that perspective because I can see all the good parts that it's doing, but it also hurts me so much because I can't unsee all the faults that I can see in it. I think every fandom that gets super popular is going to be cringe. All right, My Hero Academia had a cringe fandom. Demon Slayer had a cringe fandom. JJK had a cringe fandom. I think the show uses simple battle shonens, but masters them all perfectly. I don't think it masters them all perfectly. I think it is, in fact, a little too simple, and it needs to have a little bit more in terms of its fight choreography to really round out these character moments. Because, like I said, that is the biggest strength of My Hero Academia. So for that reason, I would say that this take is sizzling. I think My Hero Academia may be overhated nowadays, but it is definitely not the perfect shows and has some great moments, just has so many things that I wish it did better as well. New take. Mujin says, I hate when an anime's entire premise lasts for a few episodes then becomes a drama. This is especially true for comedies. Kaguya-sama Love is War suffers from this example. Starts off with a premise that love is war, but gradually becomes a generic drama with barely any comedy. Anime that are peak comedy don't suffer from this are Asobi Asobase, for example, or my personal favorite comedy, The Disastrous Life of Saiki K. Mujin, this is a spicy take, man. This is a spicy take. You probably have more people who think you might be cooking if you literally didn't use Kaguya-sama Love is War. I just think that's I just think that's a bad example, because I think Kaguya-sama Love is War is a great example of a show that can do both drama and comedy at the same time. I'm trying to think, how hot is this take? Because I'm trying to think of other comedy anime that becomes a drama in the end. I actually can't think of many examples that do this badly off the top of my head. Most of the time, I don't really care about if a show starts off as a comedy and goes into a drama. I care mostly about the execution. And most of the time, I can think of when I watch a comedy show and it turns into a drama or has dramatic moments in it. Normally, it's just done really fucking well. Orimo, get the fuck out of here. When a show goes into something more serious, I like that the series trusts that the audience will still stick with it, even if it decides to do something only different. If you're with a bro and all he is there for is just to be the class clown and to make you laugh, then are you really a bro? If you don't like him at his worst, when he's down, do you deserve him at his best? You know what I mean? It would have got boring so fucking fast, I feel, if it just stuck with that same comedy premise. But adding the drama to it added a new dynamic, added a new layer to what that series was. Let's see. First Frieren take of the day, and what a nuclear take this is. Punished Waifu says, Himmel was actually the worst character in Frieren. You spent 60 years waiting for her to come to you, bro. Yo, nuclear take. Nuclear fucking take, man. Nuclear take. He spent 60 years? This is what I call commitment, man. He didn't need any other hoes, man. He knew what he wanted and he waited. The problem wasn't with him. The problem was with Frieren, man. He might have been a virgin, but he died a happy virgin. And at the end of the day, isn't that the point of life? To be happy, guys. Ooh, spicy take. Bible Black is the pinnacle of hentai. You get a somewhat decent story, at least for porn. There is a good backstory, which gets a 2-episode OVA. Character designs are great. The animation is good. It's uncensored, and they gave us a sequel and a movie in addition to the prequel. Nothing really comes close these days. Bro is cooking. You know what? I'ma be a boomer, guys. They just don't make them like they used to, guys. Hentai back in the day, way better than what we get today. I miss the days of 30-minute episodes with actual plot in between all the cultured scenes, man. With actual plot in between the cultured scene. Nowadays, it's all about the 15-minute episode. Just give me a 15-minute short OVA. I'm like, what the f is this? This isn't plot. This is a scenario. You're giving me the most bare bones basic scenario of all time. And that's it. Back in the day, we actually got a fucking story. And ironically, I care about the plot because it makes it better, guys. All right? Elitism for hentai. Yes. Can we gatekeep gooning now? I do think that Bible Black is the pinnacle of hentai, man. It has everything. It has a backstory. It has lore. It has amazing scenes. I unironically think that Bible Black still has better animation than most copy-paste hentai that gets released today. I actually think a lot of hentai back in the day had better animation. I feel like there were way more variety in the aesthetic and character designs now. Before, Pink Pineapple used to be like banger, 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 banger. And now it's just like, okay, maybe this one is cooking, and sometimes it's just like, you've gone down the Queen Bee route. What's next? Vivi says, School Days is often unfairly rated and gets a ridiculous amount of hate, despite having achieved everything it set out to do as a deconstruction of the 2000s anime harem genre, as well as showcasing the infamous bad ends the game was famous for in the first place. Joey, you can't trick me, Joey. You can't trick me. Shall I be that guy, guys? Vision novel did it better. I'm going there. I think the anime was kind of boring, actually. School Days on paper should really be up my alley for like trashy romance anime. And you compare it to other romances like, you know, Domestic Girlfriend, fucking. But unfortunately, I just think that School Days, the biggest problem with School Days, aside from every fucking uncharacter, unlikable as fuck, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, I just think it was really, really fucking boring. And it was only within like the last few episodes that it really started to pop off, man. But before that, it was just really generic. I'm talking like the last 2 episodes where it was just like, holy fucking shit. And it just felt like it just slapped you in the face with a lot of that. And Joey, it's okay. You tried your best, Joey. I know this account was made 5 minutes ago, but Joey, it's okay. It's okay, Joey. Oh, this should be interesting. The second a shonen anime resorts to the tournament arc, it's when the plot becomes creatively bankrupt. At best, it's buying time for the mangaka to come up with something interesting to happen. At worst, it bloats to encompass like 100 volumes of the manga and goes nowhere. Ooh! Wait. But I love tournament arcs. Tournament arcs are fucking great. But he's kind of cooking. I disagree, but I agree at the same time. Oh, okay. Let's break this. Let's break this down. I hated the My Hero Academia Sports Festival. I thought the sports festival was a tournament arc done well. Tournament arcs is a trope that I fucking love. Is it overdone in anime? It is probably arguably overdone, but it's such an easy way to bring hype into a series, and it's such an easy way to get me hype in a series, because tournament arcs are just fucking fun. There are so many different aspects to tournament arc, especially in the premise of a shonen battle anime, that just reignites my investment in the storyline. And you get the best part of shonen action within the tournament arc, because you have power scaling, you have a great way to introduce new powers, new characters, you have unknown characters, and it's just such an easy way to introduce a bunch of new characters and make it the payoff for the main character if they've done like a training arc or something as well. If this was a YouTube video, he makes a tournament arc video and he knows it's an easy 1 out of 10. And yes, I do think some plots are creatively bankrupt by putting a tournament arc in them, but it's still hype. It's still hype. I think that is a good take to end on for now with the hot takes.
Hey guys, the Anime Zone here. I forgot to record an outro again. So now I have to record it in post. If you like this video, make sure to like, favorite, and subscribe. And also subscribe to Twitch. Not subscribe. Fuck. Now subscribe to Twitch. Did it again. Make sure to follow me on twitch.tv/Gigic. I've been Gigic, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.